In this session of Diagram Dazzles, you will be studying the most vital part of the human body because it's the command and the control center, that is the brain. The NCERT brain shows forebrain, midbrain and the hindbrain with all its component. And here is a simplified yet a detailed diagram of the same. The forebrain has the cerebrum with two cerebral hemispheres. So these cerebral hemispheres are held at the base by the corpus callosum. Beneath the corpus callosum is the thalamus, which is hemispherical, the coordinating center for sensory and motor signals. Hypothalamus has neurosecretory cells. Followed by that is the pituitary gland, which is a master endocrine gland. Next is a midbrain, which is a conduit between the forebrain and the hindbrain, has got vital structures like the cerebral aqueduct and then corpora quadrigemina. The hindbrain has pons, medulla and cerebellum. The cerebellum especially provides additional neurons. Yes, the tricks to draw the diagrams. Always draw the outline, and here the outline comprises of 5 C's. The first 3 C's, as you can see, are inverted. Fourth and the fifth one are facing each other in opposition. Yes. Next is develop the association. What an association for the brain other than the bird with a crown and a tail, and it holds the fruit in its beak. The bird there you can see there if you focus on the greyish area. So around the greyish area and above you can see the crown, which is actually the cerebrum, and below that you can see the pituitary gland, which depicts the fruit held at the beak, and finally the tail is nothing but the cerebellum. Next is to do the detailing with all the labels intact. So now we are ready to draw the outline. First, the largest of the inverted C's, which represents the cerebrum, and our association, it's the crown of the bird. And below that, draw 2 more inverted C's, which is actually the corpus callosum. Finally, draw the 4th C, and that is for the cerebellum, just below the corpus callosum. And next is the 5th C, which depicts the pons. Remember, always draw this outline light so that you can develop on it. First, let us begin with the cerebrum. The cerebrum importantly has folds called as sulci and gyri, and this should be drawn as looped structures. So when you show the infoldings, draw them as double line structures, some of them simple and some of them forked like that of the Y, and extend it all throughout the outline. So once our outer line is done, next is the inner one. Inner one you can just depict it with mild single lines, okay, forked and looped in some places. After you've done with that, the crown of the bird is complete, so our cerebrum is done. So what holds them together is the corpus callosum, and that is quite simple. The second and the third C's darken them, so that forms the outline for the corpus callosum. Next we'll develop on the head of the bird, okay, starting with the eye. So this eye is nothing but the thalamus. Once you're done with the eye, draw that mild beak, okay, and show a double line structure. That is very important. Extend across the beak. That the beak should have the pituitary gland, which we said is a fruit. Okay, so once you're done with this, go ahead extending the inner line to draw the midbrain. So this region should show like a neck, and then when you draw the midbrain, draw the line extending below, and that is a part of the hindbrain. This is in fact the cerebral aqueduct. Also show the pons, the lower part little swollen, like the swollen belly of the bird. So that is the pons and the medulla. Once you're done with that, go ahead drawing with the other end, that is the right end of the brain, which has the cerebellum. First complete the cerebral aqueduct, and then part of the midbrain, which shows the pineal gland. So this part is in fact representing the pineal gland. You can see it. Draw it gently lobed and then loop backwards. Then draw the cerebellum like that of the midrib of or the veins or of the leaf. Yes, so once you draw that, okay, yes, so draw the outline for the cerebellum just like you've drawn for the cerebrum. But here, once you've done, importantly, show also another outline for the cerebellum and draw parallel lines connecting them. Okay, so it shows as a swollen protuberance. So complete this diagram, and at the end of it you will have to highlight certain areas showing the grey color, like the pituitary and the pineal gland, as you can see here. Finally is the labeling. Start with the cerebrum, then the corpus callosum, thalamus, and then the hypothalamus. After that, not to forget the pituitary gland. Pineal gland is also a part of this first structure, which is called as the forebrain. Next is the midbrain, and following that is the hindbrain comprising of pons, medulla and cerebellum.